Nightbitch by Yoder. The mother, once a promising artist, found herself adrift in the monotony of stay-at-home motherhood. Her husband, a level-headed engineer, was frequently away on business, leaving her to navigate the relentless demands of their 2-year-old son. She yearned for the intellectual stimulation of her former life, for the creative outlet that had once defined her. But now her days were filled with the endless cycle of feeding, cleaning, and playing trains, a cycle that seemed to be slowly erasing her sense of self. One night, after enduring her son's incessant cries and her husband's oblivious slumber, a primal rage ignited within her. It was a rage born of exhaustion, of the feeling that she was being consumed by the demands of motherhood, a rage that birthed something new and terrifying within her. She awoke the next morning disheveled and covered in blood, a vague memory of guttural growls and animalistic howls echoing in her mind. When her husband, cheerfully oblivious, commented on her behavior, she jokingly declared herself Nightbitch. But the joke held a disturbing truth. A patch of coarse black hair sprouted at the base of her neck, her canines seemed to sharpen, and a disturbingly canine smell clung to her. She confided in her husband, but he dismissed her concerns as anxiety. Unconvinced, she embarked on late-night internet searches, seeking explanations for her unsettling transformation. She researched werewolves, witches, and even the 19th century diagnosis of hysteria, finding a strange solace in the stories of other women whose bodies and minds seemed to rebel against the constraints of their lives. Driven by a desperate need for answers, the mother turned to books. At the library, while her son played with trains, she stumbled upon a tattered copy of A Field Guide to Magical Women by Wanda White. The book, a curious blend of folklore and academic research, detailed the habits and habitats of mythical female creatures from around the world. The mother devoured the pages, finding a strange resonance with the stories of women who transformed into birds, who wielded unseen powers, who embraced their animal instincts. As the weeks passed, the mother's transformation continued. The hair on her body grew thicker, her senses sharpened, and she developed an insatiable craving for raw meat. She struggled to reconcile her growing animal instincts with the demands of motherhood, finding herself torn between the urge to howl at the moon and the need to soothe her crying son. Her encounters with other mothers became increasingly strained. She found herself repelled by their cheerful acceptance of domesticity, their endless chatter about playdates and potty training. At a book babies meeting, she was approached by Jen, a picture-perfect blonde mother who exuded an unsettlingly familiar strawberry scent. Jen, brimming with entrepreneurial zeal, tried to recruit her into an herbal remedy business, but the mother, overwhelmed by Jen's manic energy and the nagging feeling that she had encountered her before in a different form, politely declined. The mother's transformation intensified. She discovered a raised lump at the base of her spine, which, upon closer inspection, revealed itself to be a tail. She confided in her husband again, but he dismissed it as a pilonidal cyst. Desperate to reclaim a sense of control, she attempted to re-engage with her art, but found herself creatively blocked. A planned finger painting session with her son descended into chaos, leaving her exhausted and defeated. One night, a pack of dogs, including a golden retriever that smelled distinctly of strawberries, appeared on her lawn. The retriever, with an unnervingly knowing look in its eyes, seemed to beckon her to join them. She felt a powerful pull towards the animal, a yearning to abandon her human life and embrace her primal instincts. But the sight of her son playing innocently with the other dogs snapped her back to reality. She chased the dogs away, then let loose a primal howl that echoed through the night. The incident left her shaken, but also strangely exhilarated. She confided in her husband again, but he dismissed it as a hormonal imbalance. Frustrated by his lack of understanding, she found solace in the pages of the Field Guide, drawn to the stories of women who embraced their magical powers. One night, unable to sleep, the mother ventured out into the night, driven by an insatiable hunger. She stalked and killed a rabbit in the woods, then buried it in her backyard. The act of violence, though disturbing, left her feeling strangely empowered, connected to her primal instincts. The next morning, she awoke feeling refreshed and invigorated. She embraced her transformation, playing doggy games with her son, even offering him small pieces of raw meat. She found a strange joy in her newfound animalism, a freedom from the constraints of her human life. She continued her correspondence with Wanda White, pouring out her anxieties and frustrations, her yearning for a life beyond motherhood. She described her transformation, her growing sense of power, her desire to embrace her monstrous side. But White remained silent, her lack of response fueling the mother's growing obsession. The mother's behavior became increasingly erratic. She gorged herself on meat at a deli, horrifying the other mothers with her unrestrained hunger. She stalked a squirrel in the park with her son, abandoning her lunch date with a friend. She erupted in a fit of rage at a dinner with her former grad school classmates, fleeing the restaurant after stealing a stranger's burger. Driven by shame and despair, Nightbitch sought refuge in the woods, where she killed a raccoon and howled at the moon. She returned home, covered in blood and dirt, and confessed to her husband about killing the cat, concocting a story about a kitchen accident. Haunted by her actions, Nightbitch resolved to regain control. She cleaned the house, organized her art supplies, and attempted to re-engage with her creative work. She continued to read the field guide, finding a strange solace in the stories of other magical women. She decided to attend Jen's herbal remedy party, hoping to find some sense of community. But the party, with its manic energy and cult-like rituals, only intensified her feelings of alienation. She confessed to the other mothers about killing the cat, finding a surprising sense of connection in their shared experiences of domestic despair. Inspired by Jen's PR skills, Nightbitch hired her as a publicist, sensing a new direction for her artistic work. She began to develop a performance piece that explored the themes of motherhood, rage, and transformation. She practiced her movements, honed her animal instincts, and collected props for her show. One night, while digging up the buried rabbit in her backyard, she was discovered by her husband. Instead of being horrified, he expressed understanding and admiration for her work. They made love in the grass, a primal act that cemented their connection. Nightbitch's performance debuted to a sold-out crowd. The show, a bizarre blend of dance, ritual, and live animal slaughter, both horrified and captivated the audience. Some viewers reported hallucinatory experiences, others spoke of feeling a profound sense of connection to their own primal instincts. Nightbitch became an art world sensation, her work sparking controversy and debate. She embraced her monstrous persona, using her platform to speak out about the hidden truths of motherhood, the power and darkness that lay beneath the surface of domestic life. Her husband, once skeptical, became her biggest supporter, recognizing the genius in her work. And Jen, the former herbal remedy hustler, transformed into a PR mastermind, skillfully managing Nightbitch's image and fueling the growing fascination with her art. The mother, once lost in the monotony of domesticity, had finally found her voice, her power, her place in the world. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next book.